Vietnam, 1970, the front line.
The grunts in 1970 are a very different kind of American foot soldier. They are mostly from a world unknown to their commanders. They are the graduates of an American rebellion that stemmed from the war they have been sent here to fight. And quietly but massively, they have brought that rebellion with them here to Vietnam. For the grunts are unraveling the very fabric of the military. They are growing their hair, wearing love beads, smoking pot, flourishing the V sign of peace. And some are refusing to fight. The young men you see in this film are not a selected, griping minority. I've spoken to hundreds of young soldiers, and the rebellion they feel so deeply is everywhere.
I couldn't see any purpose in the war back home. It never explained to me why we're actually here. And I really had nothing against these people. I want to kill them. And you go out in the woods, and they'll shoot at you first. You'll see them, they'll shoot you if they get the chance. You have to shoot at them first. It's really bad. I still don't know why I'm here. That's God's truth. 3 months, and I don't know why I'm shooting these people.
And this division has lived on a proud heritage. MacArthur said it well. This division is first in almost everything. General George Custer was in the cavalry, and now instead of rattling sabers, we have rippling rotor blades.
For a person that wants to make a career out of the Army, that they sit back in air-conditioned rooms and say, okay, you guys go out there and fight the war. We'll tell you where to go and how to do it. But all they do is sit back there and draw their combat pay for not doing nothing, but just sit back there on their butts.
A lifer is someone, to me, that stays in the Army 20 or 30 years and 20 or 30 years, and that's just his job. When you come in the Army and you're a grunt like us, well, we're just out in the boonies, humping the big pack and all, fighting the Viet Cong and the NVA. There are some lifers out there with us, but they don't see too much action on them.
Very few.
Lifers are always in the rear trying to run everything out in the field, and the grunts out there trying to do the best you can. Like the lifers is, say like they're back here and like they say go to this hill and this hill. They don't look at the terrain and everything and how rough it is and everything. And the grunt's the one that has to go through all the hell.
Grunt has to do the fighting.
Yes.
The difference between a lifer and a grunt is the lifer is supposed to know the why of it, and the grunt thinks there is no why of it. He's just over here, and it's we all count it in days. We can almost every one of us tell how many days we have left to do in Vietnam. There's an old saying in the United States Army that you don't tell an American soldier, you tell him why. And I didn't believe it as much until I came to Vietnam, and I've had several times when I thought my people were being insubordinate because they wanted to know why, or my NCOs thought they were being insubordinate because they wanted to know why. And maybe because of the emotions at the time, I had to say, you'll do it, damn it, because I say you'll do it.
If I had to do it over again, I would go to jail. For one thing, in California, the max usually that you're going to get is 3 years. Okay, what's 3 years in the jail compared to 2 years in Nam or 3 years in the Army? I don't really think that there is going to be another generation of American soldier. I think that people are just tired of it. There will be people in the Army, but the people that really feel strong on it aren't going to go in.
I just don't like, I just can't take too much pressure from the Army.
What happens to an unpopular officer out in the field?
Mostly unpopular officers, from what I heard, if they mess with a grunt too much, they get shot out there.
A friend of mine, captain, kind of got shot in the back.
What was he doing? What was the captain doing to deserve being shot in the back?
From what my friend said, he was telling them just go on through, and well, they were getting hit pretty bad, and he was telling them just keep on going. They said no. He kind of got shot.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of mistakes, but you know, the grunts don't always do what the captain says, you know. We got, see, the captain will stay back, he'll tell a platoon or something to go out so many 100 meters, you know. We don't do it. We only go as far as we get out of sight, sit down, and come back in. We don't want to hit contact. That's one thing we don't want to hit.
How many Americans have been killed and wounded in Vietnam?
Through the 22nd of August, 43,418 U.S. killed.
How many U.S. troops are presently in Vietnam?
How many U.S. troops are presently in Vietnam? As of 20 August, 403,700.
Of these, how many are in ground combat? That is, they are likely to go out on a long-range patrol.
We don't break them out that way. We say that approximately 60% of our forces in country are in either combat or combat support units.
Would a figure of 80,000 be near?
A figure of what?
80,000?
I don't really know off the top of my head. I'd have to take that question.
Do you have a proportion of this for drafted men in Vietnam?
No, we have no proportions on what constitutes breakout of draftees or enlistees. There possibly may be at the Department of Defense. We don't have it here in country.
How many American casualties have been caused by mistake in the field? Do you have a figure for that?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question.
How many American casualties have been caused by mistake or accident, either in the field or on the base?
You're asking me for how many casualties by mistake or accident?
Yes.
I don't have the statistics here, I don't believe, but would you rephrase the question because I don't quite understand.
Well, for example, when a man is killed by a friendly rocket, that is a mistake. How many people have been killed by mistake rather than have been killed by the enemy?
I see. You're excluding. You're now excluding any accidents like aircraft accidents or automobile accidents or this type.
No, including all those, all accidents, all mistakes.
I don't have those statistics.
There's no breakdown.
I'll find out for you.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me what the desertion rate is for servicemen from Vietnam, or on leave from Vietnam, or on R&R for Vietnam?
I don't have that figure with me.
What you have just seen is the daily press briefing for correspondents in Saigon.
The donut dollies arrive at Snuffy. Donut dollies are girls of the American Red Cross, sent to the front line to play games with the grunts. Good, clean novelty games, like Monopoly, Quizzes, and Blind Man's Bluff.
Okay, what we're going to do is ask you toss some questions on trees, okay?
Here comes the first question. Who cut the wilderness trail to Kentucky? Danny Boone, this side.
However, the novelty could be wearing off. The other day, a donut dolly was blown up by a grenade, and another was stabbed to death by grunts.
This one, nobody's...
I suppose some of you watching this film will say it's peddling the anti-American line yet again. Well, perhaps another kind of person could make another kind of film. But I've lived in America and I've been in the mud of America's war in Vietnam. And I do know that thousands of young American soldiers, like the grunts of Snuffy, are fighting an enemy that isn't called Gook. It's called the U.S. Army. And that takes guts. Out on patrol, one of my friends was the medic. And when I was leaving, he said to me, "Hey man, tell them back in the world we're coming home, and we're never coming back."